Hi everybody. Today I will show you a demo about how we can create a workflow that combines getting information from a web application, posting information to a web application, and acquiring data from the inventory. Let's have a look. The first element that I'm adding here is the HTTP GET request. I'm adding a URL. This is a test service, a JSON test service. If you make a GET request, you'll get an IP, a JSON structure with an IP address back. So when I start this workflow as is, it completes, and what we see is it returns us an IP address, a JSON object with an IP address. All right, what I'm adding now is a post module. So I'm dragging this on the canvas, I'm connecting it, and what I'm adding here is our Slack channel. So as a URL, I'm adding the Slack channel ID, and I'm also adding the body of the message, of the post, which tells Slack to send a text message. All right, so when I start this, what you'll see is we'll complete the first request, we'll complete the second request, and what we see here is a message on Slack. All right, but now what I'd like to do is I'd like to get information, the output that we've received in the first request, and I'd like to use that and post that to Slack in the second request. So all I need to do is I'll copy paste the task reference name, and then I can specify which object or which element in that response from the first task I want to use in my second task. So you see me adding this here, and I'm just specifying the response body. So we should see exactly what we saw in the first as a first response, and here we see the new message on Slack. We see the text message, and we also see the dynamic IP address that we received from the first service. So now we've combined the two services. What I want to do now is I just want to get the IP address, and we can use JSON path to specify that. So instead of the full address, you will now see, instead of the full text IP equals IP address, you just see the IP address. So this is really convenient if you want to zoom through the object and just pick out a specific element. All right, and the last module that I'm adding here, or the last task I'm adding, is get a device from inventory. We're using Elasticsearch in Frinx machine. So what this will do is, when I start it, it'll ask me for a device ID. And I've already filled that out before. That's a device called iOS01. I'll pick that from Elasticsearch, and I have a couple of information elements around that. So if I look at that, I see exactly the data structure that I received back from the first task. So again, if I want to reference it, all I need to do is copy the task reference number, and then I can refer to that output in all the other tasks of that workflow. So here I'm adding an additional item, and I'm showing the software version here. I'm picking out the software version that I've received from Elasticsearch. All right, so I'm saving this, and I'm starting the workflow, filling out the device name, iOS01, and first task gets the information from Elasticsearch, second task goes to the web service, third task pushes information to Slack, and I've combined these three elements here. So what we've showed is how you, without writing a single line of code, you can create a workflow where you can use all your existing IT systems that are accessible through web services or any other means, and combine them in a workflow and use that for your infrastructure automation tasks. Thanks, that concludes the demo. Let us know what you think, and check us out on GitHub. Try the latest version of Frinx Machine, and we'd love to hear your feedback. Take care. Bye.